And even doing that is no fixing that. Ain't no one want to graduate from a college that a massacre happened by their own peers. So that means that their program and everything they built for years failed. That means that the concept, the idea that you created to have this Greek life program failed. Because every and any program that you amplify in a university, as soon as that program go violent or go criminal, either against the students or against the staff or against anyone, but it comes out of the University of Idaho, either members or staff, students, all the consequences go to the university and the program that they're running. But then that means that that program that you running fail because it's not secure, it's not safe. That means that the mentality that you try to provide to these students is not reliable. You're not putting on the heads of these students the type of healthy mentality they will allow them to understand that if it's any problem, either in the relationship or anything else in life, if it's a problem, there is always a way to fix it. But not just fix it, but also fix it the right way, without putting no one's life in jeopardy, without putting your own life in jeopardy, without putting anyone in jail, without even putting your own self in jail. That's how universities and colleges need to have programs to teach these young adults how to think in a healthy way. You can't just expect, especially when you're preparing these young adults for the private sector, especially when you're preparing those young adults to be in the public sector. They are going to be a judge, a nurse, a cop. They're going to be a DA, like the people that you are preparing. And I'm cooking. The people that you are preparing, you as an entity, you as a university, you as the encourager of their future, that you give them the tools to be successful. You have to do your job right, not just giving the mental side of it of, well, this is what you do in the private sector, this is what you do in the public sector, and what you do in whatever area and whatever is your career. But then also you got to teach them how to think in life, because you cannot expect the parent. You cannot expect the parents, because there's a lot of parents like myself that we encourage our kids to do better. We encourage our kids to be good people, but it's up to them to do so. So yes, I do not blame parents for the shit that their grown adults do, unless they are part of it. Unless they are part of the same shit if the parents took part of whatever crime the kids did or enable it, yeah, I blame the parents, because they could have stopped it. But it's a lot of parents that don't have nothing to do, no idea or what's the other side of the living of their own grown adults. And the only thing that they could do is pray to God that everything that you teach them when they were little, they put it in play at some point in life. So as a university that you are preparing a program, because again, you're preparing a program that you also trying to say that you're creating leaders. So you got to teach those leaders how to lead. You cannot tell a young adult to lead, but also be toxic. You cannot tell a young adult to lead and also be convenient about it. Oh, well, I'm gonna lead the right way, but just for my people. whoever is not my people, which we see this in what's going on in politics right now, I'm going to lead, but I'm just going to lead my people. I'm going to lead my people the right way. But everybody else, I'm going to lead them the wrong way. Which that favoritism, we could see that it's out there. Again, we could see favoritism on the Idaho 4 due to the alleged killers. That I'm so glad that those names came out. But again, where's Bethany and Dylan's DNA? They mention Jack DeCourt, but they don't mention Hunter Johnson. They mention Jack DeCourt, your Jack Showalker, but then they mention a whole bunch of other names that don't lead to nothing. Where's the name of Brett Kopaka for them to be where they were because they were so concerned that this was the killer? Y'all created a whole story about Kopaka to be in front of Kopaka's apartment, full force with scopes, ready to kill him. But y'all not gonna say that y'all thought that y'all have the Idaho 4 killer. Or you thought that you could blame this man for the Idaho 4 killing. But you as the government don't want to say that you was in front of Brett Kopaka's door because you thought that you have the Idaho 4 killer. Because you thought you could have blamed him for this killing. But you did not expect him to be willing to die for the truth. Why y'all don't say that? Y'all had to keep Kopaka, even though Judge mentioned Kopaka. It was no reason for Judge to mention the name Kopaka on nothing Idaho 4 if it was not mentioned on something Idaho 4 before, behind closed doors. But you had to keep Kopaka out of the DNA because you couldn't even include Kopaka in the Idaho 4 investigation because you knew you fucked up. Because you know that some way, somehow, you had to kill this man for some apparently reason. For some apparently reason, you had to kill Brett Kopaka. But then he's nowhere to be found in the Idaho 4 investigation. But you don't want to say that you was at his front door because you thought you could have framed him. Because you thought you had the Idaho 4 killer and the perfect excuse to frame him for it. I wonder why y'all decided to kill Kopaka. Because under everything that we have read, that we have seen, whatever is being allowed by the government for us to see and witness, they didn't have no reason to kill Kopaka at all. No reason at all to kill this man. But some way, somehow, they got away with murder. In my opinion, is based on everything they have brought up to the table themselves. And I'm allowed to my own opinion. But you make sure that you didn't put Kopaka nowhere on the Idaho 4 investigation while you was in front of his house because you was working on it. But of course, you don't want to say that. Why you kill Kopaka? And then don't even put him within nothing on the papers. Like you didn't have no reason to be in front of his house. Because soon as you got to his house, you would have figured it out that that